The supreme, profound, and sublime Dharma is difficult to encounter in a billion eons. Now I see it, hear it, receive it, and kept it. I vow to attain the true meaning of the Tathagata. In order to liberate all sentient beings, let us generate the supreme bodhicitta. Let us now continue with our class on a journey to the West. Today we will talk about another manifestation of realization. These kinds of short articles were added by me because I remembered some of the memories and some footage from certain parts of the journey, and I thought it would be good to be added in between classes and make this book more interesting. Over here, it says that one time His Holiness privately told me our tour to the West this time would be different from our previous Dharma trips. For example, back in 1986, when Phuntsog Rinpoche went to a few different sacred mountains, and back in 1989, Phuntsog Rinpoche went to a few different sacred mountains around the Lhasa area. By that time, I didn't go. However, I traveled with him to the sacred mountains in Kham area. Also, Phuntsog Rinpoche reviewed different terma, not only around those sacred mountains, but reviewed sacred terma in India, Nepal, and Bhutan, those kinds of sacred places. Also, at Mount Wutai, in Han region, he also had some pure vision and special meditative experiences in which some teachings spontaneously welled up in his mind. However, since these few Western countries have very short history of several hundred years, and the Buddha as well as Guru Rinpoche had never came to visit here, there would be no terma for me to review, he said. I think for United States, only established in 1776 or something, and then Canada was 1982. They used to be a colony of United Kingdom for hundreds of years, or some parts were colony of France. So the history was not long at all. Therefore, Phuntsog Rinpoche said that there would be no terma for me to review. Plus, the Westerners prefer to be more rational and value realism. They may not give confidence or credence to miraculous experiences. I think some of Westerners do value those miraculous experiences as well. He said that, so I will focus on giving empowerment and teachings this time, and you do not need to prepare for recording or taking notes all the time as you did before, because in the past, whenever Phuntsog Rinpoche remembered certain kinds of when wisdom appears and spontaneously gushed out of him, I had to get pen and sometimes recorders to record his teachings. Sometimes maybe he suddenly woke up from a dream, and suddenly some wisdom stanzas came out or flow out from his wisdom. I would have to record them, and if there were circumstances I couldn't find my pen or the recorder, and Phuntsog Rinpoche would say that it's already gone, and then I would feel really afraid, also upset. Just as he said, throughout the tour, His Holiness primarily gave empowerment and teachings. He did not display supernatural powers publicly, nor did he review any earth or mind terma. He simply interacted with Westerners as a Dharma practitioner and a scholar of Tibetan Buddhism. Other than the time when we studied that Manjushri statue bestowed by Manjushri himself, and the time when he molded a crystal into a terma to and gifted to Geshe Rinpoche. Other than those times, it was very rare for him to display any miraculous powers. So his particular behavior was very different than that when he made pilgrimage trips in Tibet. Maybe that is also a sign of showing his miraculous powers and different levels of realization. Even though he seldomly demonstrated any miraculous behavior, most of those who saw his sublime body and heard his voice when teaching the Dharma underwent some small or even dramatic transformation in this life. This is probably due to the power of his profound aspiration of being a great accomplished master. Obviously, His Holiness became very popular among Western people, so we can see that just through ordinary behavior and simple words, great master with solid practice and genuine realization can greatly influence sentient beings and transform their minds. There will be a story about how a young American woman completely transformed her mind after hearing Pontsuk Rinpoche's teachings. We will learn about that later. To ordinary people, it is unimaginable, but in reality, it is a reflection of his inner realization. This is the magnetizing power of great masters with profound inner realization. The next part is the connection with the Nechung protector. When Pontsuk Rinpoche was at Nechung temple one day, he, at the request of disciples living there, His Holiness composed a short prayer to Nechung protector, the natural manifestation of the mirror-like primordial wisdom, Dharma protector King Nechung. To you and your assemblies I supplicate and make offerings. May you be delighted, and may whatever activities entrusted to you be accomplished swiftly without hindrance. In the updated version, the next part also included my description, though that may be on your text, you do not have that. But later you will be able to see that it's only a little bit more additions. So over here it says that in order to satisfy the request of disciples from Nechung Dorje Drayang Ling, located on a beautiful island represented by Lama Lobsang Dundan. Lama Lobsang Dundan passed away in 2019, I think. He is the one that looked rather senior in the group photo. He's the one standing beside Lama Muntsok. That photo was taken in a park around the lake. And then in the italic it says that on June 19th, 1993, Ngawang Lojo Tsukme joyfully wrote this down, may it be virtuous. I wrote these words down in Tibetan. Our original copy has been kept in the Dharma Protector's shrine ever since then. So I have the oral transmission. Here it is. Well, this verse, I really hope that you can chant it and practice it often, because this protector has a great connection to Pontsuk Rinpoche. As a lineage disciple of Pontsuk Rinpoche, I'm sure that the protector Nechung also would protect all of us because he has great auspicious connections to all of us. His name is also Dorji Jaden. There are lots of history about him. For example, even included in Samye and lots of the verses in Gelupa and in Nyingmapa traditions, there are histories of this protector. On the 20th morning of June, Chuji then bestowed the empowerment for the concise practice of Tenju Ninso. There are the three kinds of Tenju Ninso: the concise, the middling, and then the vast. That is a terma revealed by Tertong Lirpa Limpa. Before the empowerment, His Holiness touched on his connection with Natural Protector. Let me say a few words about Natural Protector by referring to the biography of the great Tertong Lirpa Limpa. Nyala Sogyal, who is Lirpa Limpa, was the body emanation of the mantra-adapted Dorji Dudrum, the head of many accomplished mantrikas who practiced Vajrakilaya in the land of snows, the speech emanation of Dakini Vajravarahi, and mind emanation of Guru Rinpoche Pamasambhava. And as an incredible Tertong, he was able to fly in the sky like a bird, swim in the water like a fish, pass through rocks without any obstacles, read the mind of others without obstructions, and dispel all kinds of degeneration and misfortunes of the land of snows through his mighty power. Through the biography of Lirpa Limpa, we can also see that he is well endowed with all kinds of miraculous powers. For example, the extensive biography of Lirpa Limpa composed by Toku Tsilo, he wrote quite extensively about all kinds of miraculous stories during the time of Lirpa Limpa or during the life of Lirpa Limpa. And then the great Tertong was also the teacher of the 13th Dalai Lama, Gyalwé Tupten Gyatso. There's such a connection. The great Tertong could talk to the Nichong Dharma protector Dorje Drukden, meaning the Vajra vehicle. I believe that's how it was translated into Chinese language in the previous memoir. Like having conversations with human friends, they give prophecies to each other and discuss what activities should be adopted or abandoned. The other day, as I said, that when Lirpa Limpa went to Lhasa, the entire circumstance was rather very complex. Through the records in their biography, we can see that they indeed helped each other out quite a bit. And then the connections between him and the protector Netron was rather very obvious. Phuntsok Rinpoche then said that, now let me briefly introduce the origin of their relationship. 2 years ago, during my visit to Dharamsala in northern India, the monk who was the medium of Netron Protector came to me. There was one afternoon, he went to see Phuntsok Rinpoche, that monk went to see Phuntsok Rinpoche. As we talked about his Samaya commitment to Tertong Sogyal, he clearly recollected scenes with the great Tertong. Then tears gushed out his eyes, and overjoyed, his body kept shivering. I remember that at the time it was getting dark, and he cried for a long period of time. Before the protector descended, the monk first came to see Phuntsok Rinpoche, and then that Lama said, This is the monk that the protector usually would descend. His photo is included in the previous memoir. He was making an offering of mandala to Pontsuk Rinpoche. I remembered that from my memory he was rather quite thin, but from the photo it looks like he's not that thin at all. When he first came, he was rather young. He was about 30 to 40 years of age, and then his expression was quite heavy, and then another two people took him down. And then Pontsuk Rinpoche said that whether toward the previous Nyala Sogyo or to me as his incarnation, the Nechon protector had always been extremely kind and helpful. In the past, Nyala Sogyo was known as the senior sacred mantra practitioner and a great master of Nyingma, enjoying high prestige in the area of Kham. However, when he first came to Wutai, central Tibet, he was just an unknown ordinary sacred mantra practitioner. One day, when the turtle visited a marketplace in Lhasa, the Nechon protector suddenly appeared with a kata in his hands. Before a big crowd, he addressed the turtle as Pamasambhava, offered the kata, and prostrated to him with veneration. From then on, Turtle Nyala Sogyo gained vast respect and support from people in central Tibet. Of course, there are other causes and conditions, but when Pontsuk Rinpoche speaks of the condition or connection to the protector, he usually speaks of this story. There are other stories, and Pontsuk Rinpoche speaks of this one. It was also through the effort of a Nechon protector at Nyala Sogyo that Nyala Sogyo was introduced to the Dalai Lama, Gyalwe Tupten Gyatso, who then received teachings from him and also give teachings to him. Afterward, it was again the Nechon protector who first assisted the turtle to expand his enlightened activities. Similarly, when I offered the Vajrakilya Gurkurkma empowerment in Dharamsala, I believe it was on July 20th. It was recorded in the previous memoir, Recollection of the Past Memories. And then the Nechon protector once again descended. When the protector descended, I was rather kind of afraid or scared because it was quite chaotic. The various protectors continuously to descend. He sincerely prostrated to me and then offered me a Buddha statue, a sutra, and a stupa. Afterward, he related our meetings in the previous life, prophesied some things in the future, and give various praises to me. Some of those predictions can be shared and some can't. Also, some of the some of the conversation was a bit difficult to understand because he was speaking in Lhasa accent. But in fact, I wrote it down from a recording, but I couldn't find that piece of paper that I wrote down the prophecies anymore. Anyhow, because of that, I was also venerated and supported by Tibetans living in that area. During his assistance, my activities have always been vast and prosperous without any obstacles or unfavorable conditions. Now, as I recall all of these, I feel gratitude to Nechon protector since he has been extremely kind and helpful to me. Sometimes Pontsuk Rinpoche would be extremely humble and say that he not an incarnation of Lera Rinpa, and sometimes he naturally acknowledges to everyone that he is the incarnation of Lera Rinpa. Before we set off on this tour, one day in the Land of Snows, a clear thought crossed my mind. It is said that there is a Nechon Dharma Center in the United States. If I could visit there, that would be amazing. But it seems it is not in the plan. What a pity. I will not be able to make it at this time. However, However, shortly afterward, I was told that there was Dharma Center of Natural Protector on the island of Hawaii in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and it had been added to our trip. Hearing that, my heart was filled with joy. Because our itinerary that was set at the very beginning was different than the one that we finalized. So in the halfway through, we added the trip or the stop to Hawaii. In fact, there are two categories of Dharma protectors: wisdom protectors and worldly protectors. The latter are still subject to afflictive emotions and a karmic law of cause and effect, just like the ordinary beings like us. However, emanating from the sublime power of great compassion of Guru Rinpoche, the natural protector is a genuine wisdom protector and is renowned as the king of karma or king of activity among the 5 great kings, the 5 most powerful spirit heroes who provide protection against the enemies. Among all Dharma protectors, the natural protector is the main protector who was designated by Rinpoche to protect all Dharma and bring peace and happiness to all sentient beings in the land of Tibet. For any protectors who pray to or meditate on this natural protector, any form of misfortune or disaster will be completely dispelled. See, this is really important. That is why this year I decided that natural protector's statue should be added or should be included in Doma Monastery, in my monastery. And usually they would be quite stubborn, but they listened to me and to my request. So this year I requested to have a 6-armed Mahakala and a statue of natural protector. The verse that is composed by Phuntsok Rinpoche about a natural protector is the one that we can chant. And in terms of Mahakala, I have a rather special protector chant. So I can share that with you later. And I have requested to build a different shrine for Mahakala, but I couldn't get the permit for it. So I asked the monastery to include a protector's shrine, to include both of the protector's statues, and they finally agreed. Here, your Dharma center has become the pillar of all Dharma activities in this place. Please make your center more stable, more prosperous, and more long-lasting. To make it happen, it is especially essential to wholeheartedly praise and make offerings to the natural protector. I believe the natural temple is doing really well. The people over there are supporting the temple after the old lama's passing. Some of the Westerners and some people who recently came here and told me that they are supporting the center, and I encourage them that this is really such an auspicious connection to have this Dharma center, and I encourage them to continuously to support it. I'm really happy to be able to come to this natural temple because it is indeed an auspicious start than my first stop to teach the Dharma in Western countries. In Western countries take place in the Dharma center of nature. I strongly believe that from now on, every activity I engage in will be free from obstacles or unfavorable conditions. In addition, I encourage every one of you to pray to Guru Rinpoche sincerely and make a great effort to engage in the practice of generation and completion stages dedicated to Guru Rinpoche. In brief, Guru Pamasambhava is the one who vigorously performs and carries out all enlightened activities of all Buddhas. If you pray to him, his compassion and blessings come more swiftly than other Buddhas. Especially in this place, everyone seeks refuge and hope in Guru Rinpoche, and he is also the only and ultimate field of refuge of natural protector. So if you pray to Guru Rinpoche, you are like-minded with the natural protector, and you will surely achieve extraordinary spiritual attainment. Initially, Natural Protector's temple is a temple of Gelupa, but they have a great faith to Guru Rinpoche. As mentioned earlier, it was Origin Rinpoche Pamasambhava who initially entrusted the Nechon protector as the Lord of all Dharma protectors. Also, in various sadhanas of making offerings to this protector, practitioners are required to clearly visualize themselves as Guru Rinpoche. I later also required more information about how they would practice other sadhanas, and indeed they clearly visualize themselves as Guru Rinpoche. When I visited India, the Nechon protector told me that he had never broken a commitment and never would, both now and in the future. Finally, he encouraged me to propagate the Dharma, especially that which is related to the activities of Guru Rinpoche. So that's his connection to Phuntsog Rinpoche. Also, Nechon protector encouraged Phuntsog Rinpoche to compose a sadhana of subjugating Maras, and Phuntsog Rinpoche did as well. These accounts have been recorded in written formats, so you could refer to them if you're interested in knowing them. Some of those are translated into English, and some are also available in Tibetan language. This time I have made some pictures of Nechon protector. I think this would be wonderful. They're a little bit bigger than the bookmarks, and I think this would be a very auspicious coincidence, and it would be distributed to everyone. I don't really want to add more chantings to you, but I think it would be this particular verse composed by Phuntsog Rinpoche to protector Nechon is rather really excellent. If you have faith, I'm sure you will be able to receive blessings, and it will be really unfathomable for those who have faith, because I think a Nechon protector would be extremely crucial to all of us. Also, this picture is exactly the photo of the statue of the protector at Nechon Temple.
就很好的吧，就是他们应该是就是非常在这方面有这个有研究的，因为他们就一直是修这个嘛。好，今天就是讲到这里了。所那么的也谈这走吧呢，同那你别着那盘些，今个那接着弄出吧。这本错呢，着吧着吧了，小。